Good morning and welcome to this week's Coffee and Conversation. I'm your host, Coach Dennis from menoflegacy.org. Today I wanted to discuss a thought I've been playing around with, popped into my head from something I watched, is that it only takes one person to make a relationship better. It only takes one person who's willing to drop into unconditional love, tell the truth, and set proper boundaries. Don't ever make the mistake of not thinking that setting boundaries isn't a loving act. It is a kind, wonderful, loving act. When you do this, though, there's no promise of an outcome. There's no guarantee. And that's the challenge for most people because we tend to be outcome dependent. The men who are having problems in their relationships, we want to fix it. We want to make it better. And that actually works against us. Comes down, you cannot do something to get something. That's a covert contract. You are not being true, and the women can sense that. You have to make it straight from the heart and be just you. If you want unconditional love, you must first give it to yourself. And after you give it to yourself, only then can you give it to others. It's the greatest gift you can give. But make no mistake, you must first love yourself, which means you need to be acting in congruence with your values. You need to be following your own boundaries or nuts. And it's the hard part. A lot of people don't understand. Love's not a feeling. Lust is a feeling. Love is a verb. It's intentional. It's not something that you look to get, but it truly is something you give. And I would argue something you can become. One who gives love. And when you give love freely from your heart, a funny thing happens. You become more attractive. Maybe the person you're trying to repair a relationship softens and becomes more receptive to your love. Even though for 12 months or 14 months, they've told you how they don't love you anymore and I'm not in love with you. And maybe, just maybe, that will turn the relationship around. It's hard to say. There's no guarantees, and you can't be dependent on an outcome. You just have to be you. And the more attractive and loving you become, the more likely you will find somebody who will reciprocate with that love. You just don't know who that may be. It may not be the wife and the relationship you're struggling with. You may find it after you end that. You may turn the relationship around and have a loving, connected marriage, what we would call version 2.0. Excuse me. So remember, love is something you give, not something you get. And make sure you love yourself first, because you're not going to be able to freely give love to anyone else unless you are already giving it to yourself. Thanks for your attention this week. If you like this video, would like to know when others like this come out, please hit the subscribe button at the bottom there. That way you'll be notified when podcasts drop, when other videos become available. Thank you and have a wonderful week and enjoy your coffee.